See what happens. Awesome. I'm having all sorts of technical difficulties tonight, kids, so hopefully this will work, and if not, then all good. So, tanse everyone, oki, bonjour. My name is Chantal. I am Cree, Anishinabe, and MST from Muskeg Lake Cree Nation in Saskatchewan, which is in Treaty 6 territory. But I am living here in Treaty 7 territory. I'm very thankful and humbled to be here. I'm just trying to check if my StreamYard is working, and I'm not quite sure. So give me one moment, because it looks like it might not be. Hold on a second here. Huh. Live viewer. Show. Huh. Neat! That is really cool. So, I'm not sure if this is actually working. Oh, there we go. Go live. Yes. I'm trying to figure out new software because the old software doesn't seem to be working. So, we're going to shut off the old software. We're going to go live with the new software. And my apologies for anybody who is watching on Twitter and YouTube, because you're watching me go through these motions with a new sort of thing. So, yay! Let's see if this worked. Half an hour late, half an hour after the fact. Ooh, I am live. Awesome, everyone. So, tanse, oki, bonjour, hello. Welcome to another fabulous Tuesday. I am using a brand new sort of well, it's a new broadcasting thing that I am not used to. I've used it a couple times with other panels that I've been on, but I actually haven't done it for my live stream, so this is really exciting. So yeah, I'm just really thankful and humbled to be here. I'm thankful and humbled to be able to share today. And yeah, I'm just going to hide that because we don't need that to show up. But it's been a week. It's been a few weeks. But I wanted to remind everybody that upcoming on Valentine's Day, we of course have the Valentine's Day Memorial March that we have had every year. I was sending off the media releases and I just realized, holy, it's already been 14 years that we have been running this march. And I stepped in like a decade ago, I think, to help coordinate and kind of been here ever since. And I'm just really thankful to the people who began that march, who really started it, and really have done the work to, lay that foundation for all of us. I also wanted to thank everyone who's spoken in the past at events and the ones who are really striving to do the work now. And so I just wanted to wish everyone a beautiful day today. It is Tuesday. Again, my apologies for starting late. I'm trying new software. Let's see if it works, because apparently my live stream through Restream isn't working. So this is something new. And I just wanted to welcome everybody just by acknowledging the land upon which we stand, because it's really important to know where you are so you know where you're going. So I acknowledge the people of Mohkinstsis, the people of the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Blackfoot of Siksika, Kaina, and Pagani, the Sarsi Dene from Tsutsuna, also known as the Beaver people, and the Stoney Nakoda of Morley, which includes Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. We're also walking in the footsteps of Métis Region 3, which is why I proudly wear my Métis sash to act as that bridge between Indigenous and non-Indigenous culture. And I think it's really important to just create that sense of place by acknowledging all of the people who have been here and who continue to be here, continue to thrive in this territory. I really think it's important to acknowledge that history and to acknowledge those stories, because they're so much a part of us, and this is how we learn about each other, and this is how we grow. And so to welcome everyone into the circle tonight, I wanted to share the Cree welcome song. Traditionally, when we sing songs, we sing in rounds of 4, down to the 4 directions of the medicine wheel. But this song is a little bit different. We actually sing it in rounds of 3, and that's to keep the circle open and welcoming so everyone completes the circle today. Because in a circle, we're all connected. There's no beginning, there's no end. No one is greater or less than anyone else in the circle, just like in the hoop of life. So it teaches us to honor each other for those differences. Because if everybody was exactly the same, the world would be incredibly boring and nothing would ever get done. So we need those differences to be able to have our community be strong and resilient and thrive. And so this song really honors that. Miasin, which is the Cree welcome song. It is from the Natahau family from Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation, and I thank them for keeping the song alive, for keeping the story of the song alive, and for really bringing it forward and sharing it in a good way. I know that this song in particular has really been instrumental on my path, and I'm so humbled to be able to share it on a regular basis the way that I do, because it calls our ancestors in such a beautiful way. And so, to welcome everyone in, I wanted to share the Cree welcome song. It doesn't just mean welcome, it also means beautiful. And oh, I almost tripped on sticks. I'm making drumsticks at the moment, so it's a hot mess over in my house. Miasen, miasen, hasemina, hasemina, e pentakote, niwagomagan, ota, Homa Kitaskino Miasen Miasen Hasemina Hasemina E Pentakote Niwagomagan Hota Homa Kitaskino Miasen Miasen Hasemina Hasemina e petakote niwagomagan hota homa kitaskino. Hi, and welcome to the circle tonight, everyone. I just wanted to remind everyone again of the event that's coming up on the 14th, and we need to raise money so that we can honor our elders with honoraria, pay for tobacco, honor our speakers with honoraria, and travel money, of course. So Sam has graciously painted another one of his gorgeous creations to be able to, whoops, gift. Sorry, we've got some, my ring light is causing some mad shininess. But this is his beautiful piece that he has brought forth. And so in it, we have the teepee, which of course represents the woman, the beautiful butterflies, which represent change. And so it really honors that change that we need to go through as a community. And of course, the eagle in the bottom corner, that's our connection to love and creator. It's just such a beautiful piece. I always love the work that he does. It's just always so breathtaking, and there's so many subtleties that I almost miss. Every time I look at it, I see something a little bit different. Even the little steps here that represent the steps that we need to move forward. He incorporates that orange shirt color as well as the red for the red dress campaign in the painting, because we are not only striving to have answers for our murdered missing Indigenous women, but our girls, our two-spirit people, our men, all of our children. And really, there's been so much news of more unmarked graves being uncovered at many different sites. Even today on the radio, I was hearing that one of the biggest schools, the Mohawk Institute, they're actually starting to do ground penetrating radar. And so we know that there's going to be a lot more souls and stories uncovered. And I think it's so important that we talk about these issues and we honor those families that are suffering and that need that closure, need that truth, need that justice. And so this is exactly why, you know, we support events like the Valentine's Day Memorial March or Sisters in Spirit or Red Dress Day or Orange Shirt Day. These are days that we need to speak out and really become more aware, but it also needs to be an ongoing thing. It's not just one day, because the families aren't just suffering one day, they're suffering for years and years and years, every single day. And so when we do events like this, it's just that reminder that community is right alongside them. And this is why, you know, having that gift from Sam of this beautiful painting so that we can support the event is so, so important. And so the event itself, I'm going to just put this back up here. We will be raffling off tickets. We will have 100 squares at $20 a piece. And so the grid is 1 to 100. I have been teaching at a school all day, and I was teaching online yesterday and the day before, so I didn't get a chance to put my grid together, but I will put it on tomorrow. I don't think I'm actually working tomorrow, so that's a good, well, I'm working during the day, but not in the evening, so I should be able to put together the grid. I'll take many pictures, and I will post them on Instagram as well as on Facebook. And so, yeah, this is kind of the way that we hope to raise awareness. Please do join us Valentine's Day for the Memorial March. It will be, well, we'll be gathering at 6 o'clock. We'll start speeches. We're hoping to wrap those up within an hour, so we'll start them around 6:30. We should be done around 7:30 so that we can march from 7:30 until around 8-ish. We should wrap everything up by 9, keeping in mind that, of course, due to COVID restrictions, we are not able to go into the building to gather. We can still go into the building to warm up, so elders can go warm up, community members can go warm up if it's a cold day. There will be washrooms available, but the event itself will actually be out back behind. There's a big parking lot, and so that's where we're going to set up, well, not really a stage, but sound equipment, so people can have our speeches. We have, you know, people coming to perform, which is really lovely, and so it should be a beautiful event. Altered, so not like in previous years, but hopefully we'll be back to a normal in a year or two. Fingers crossed. We were hoping so last year when we froze our cookies off outside. But I just wanted to thank Scarborough for really doing that reconciliation work, because it takes a lot of work, and things like creating space, that is a big step in the right direction. So I'm very, very thankful that we are able to use that space. So just to start, I wanted to start, of course, with a smudge, just because it's a good way to balance and to center and to acknowledge the 4 directions and acknowledge the teachings of our ancestors. And when I'm teaching kids, it's funny because I talk about smudging all the time, and I talk about our medicines, and I sometimes forget that these medicines were banned for so long with our ancestors. And so for us to be able to not only be able to smudge again, but be able to teach, you know, in schools, like why smudging is important, and the teachings and the medicines, and how important that culture was to maintain. It's just so incredible to see the light in their eyes and to know that I am sharing those teachings of my ancestors in a good way with those future generations, to see the pride in Indigenous kids when, you know, an Indigenous mentor is in to share with them. It's so overwhelming, and there's sometimes I'm just brought to tears with the stories that kids share with me, and I'm so thankful and humbled to be in the positions I'm in. And so, whoops, this one's wrapped up. I should probably have unwrapped it before I started pulling off some of those sage leaves, but you know, there it is. So we're only going to be smudging with sage today, because of course sage is the women's medicine. And hey, where did my sweetgrass go? Did my daughter put it back on my desk? Okay, so I do have sweetgrass here somewhere, and I think my daughter borrowed it. So, oh no, it's right in front of my face. I'm just blind. So even though I'm not using all of the medicines, I always lay them all out, and I'm just going to bump that so you see a little bit more of my desk. And so we have sweetgrass in the east, and a broken drumstick. I broke my drumstick this week. So beautiful. Let's represent our mind, our connection to grandfather son. And again, these are just my teachings. So if they resonate with you, awesome. If they don't, that's okay too. And we have cedar in the south to honor our physical body and our physical being and our relationship that we have to our body and the relationship that we have to the earth, because physicality is really important. We have sage in the west, which is the women's medicine, to represent our connection to our emotions, to represent our connection to Grandmother Moon, and to represent our connection to community, because we have to be invested with our emotions in community for it to work. And so that's that unconditional love piece. And that's what we will be smudging with today, because it is the women's medicine. It's universal in Cree. And then we have tobacco in the north to represent our connection to spirit. It's our connection to the air. It's that sacred breath that we all share, and so it's a gift to be able to share all of these medicines. So I'm very, very thankful and humbled to be able to do this. So, this was gifted to me by my friend Madeline, and it's all she actually grows tobacco, and so I'm very thankful for this beautiful tobacco that she's gifted in a good way. And oh, before I smudge, I always take my earrings off. So any metal that I'm wearing, I tend to take off just because metal holds energy. And what smudging is, it's our way to get rid of the things that we don't need and to call in the things that we do need. And so I always take off the metal that I'm wearing. I'm going to light my smudge. And I always use matches. I don't really use lighters because it kind of dishonors the relationship that we have with Mother Earth. And again, those are just my teachings. So I always fan it with my hand or a feather. Usually I just use my hand, but I was gifted a feather of the holidays, so and the cats haven't stolen it yet, which is awesome. My microphone is a little low. I can definitely turn that up. A little bit better? Thanks for letting me know, Cheryl. Awesome. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just smudge my hands. So anything that I'm carrying, I let go of. I'm going to bring it over my body 4 times to honor the 4 directions in my body. I smudge my mind so I can think clearly and learn from every person that crosses my path. So I can be open-minded and never rigid with my thinking. I smudge my ears so I can remember to listen twice as much as I speak. This is why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So I can be open to hear all of the messages that Creator sends me. And to remember that listening is key to relationships. I smudge my eyes so I can see clearly and see all of the beauty that surrounds me. So I can keep my eyes open, keep my vision clear, and also to remember to see the unseen. I smudge my nose so I can smell danger and nature and cookies. I smudge my mouth so I speak good, true words that are kind. I always ask myself, is it truthful? Is it helpful? Is it kind? If it's none of those things, don't say it, don't do it. It's a good rule of thumb. And also, it's really about honoring the 7 teachings with your voice. I smudge my throat because I'm very thankful for the voice Creator's gifted me. I'm thankful for the teachings that I share. And I'm also thankful for the ability to give voice to the voiceless and elevate those voices. It's a gift that I've been given, and I honor it in a good way. I smudge my lungs so I breathe good, clean air and honor the sacred breath that we all share. I smudge my heart so I remain kind and compassionate and show unconditional love to all those around me, to my family, my friends, and all my relations. I smudge my stomach so all of the food that I eat this day will nourish my body. And pray for abundance for those that don't have it. I smudge my belly button because that's where our spirit is. And so that's so I stay connected to the spirit that I have within me. And so I can listen to my intuition a little bit better. I smudge my womanhood because I'm very thankful to be a woman and a mother in this time. But also to be a 2-spirit woman, and I carry that masculine and feminine energy within me. I smudge my shoulders and my back so I can carry all of the responsibilities that Creator's gifted me with grace and humility. I smudge my arms and my hands so I can do the good work that Creator's put me here to do. And I smudge my legs so I walk this red road in a good way. The red road is the path of Aboriginal spirituality, the road of my ancestors. And then I smudge my feet so I stay grounded and connected to Mother Earth, treading lightly upon her, honoring her with every step. And so if there's anywhere that you need a little extra love, you can just smudge those areas as well. And it looks like I am not actually getting, it looks like I'm not getting any comments from you from Facebook. So I do apologize in advance for anybody who is commenting on Facebook. I am using a new streaming service, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm sure I'll figure it out later. So what I'm going to do in the interim is I'm actually going to just open a secondary window. Boom. Oops, sorry about that. Boom. What? And boom. All right, that should be good. And I'm just going to look at Facebook here and make sure I'm not missing anybody's comments. So I apologize in advance for anyone. Oh, here we go. 4 comments. Yay! I can see when people are commenting. How exciting is that? Okay. So again, I apologize. I am using a new service and it's really interesting. So I'm trying my best. But for some reason, Restream was not running everything. Oh, I forgot to finish smudging. I'm sorry. I got very distracted. I need to smudge my mind a little bit more, I think, so I can stay a little bit more connected. And I'm going to smudge my feet so I stay grounded, connected to Mother Earth, treading lightly upon her and honoring her with every step. And then just smudge those areas that I need a little bit more love and send that love to the people in my life that I need it. My hips, of course. And that's when I have a little bit more of a challenge. And hi, hi. I'm going to say thank you in your language when you're done. So hi, hi, magwitch, merci, however you say thank you. And so I'm just really, really thankful and humbled to be here. And I wanted to just make sure that I'm sharing a lot of women's songs for the next couple weeks, just because with the Valentine's Day Memorial March coming up, we also want to make sure that we are sharing all of the gifts that we have. And when we are marching together, there's something really powerful about everyone coming together and drumming and singing those songs. It really elevates everyone and connects us as a community, sharing our voices. And so, yeah, I'm just really, really thankful for that. And I'm just going to make sure, whoop, there we go. Aha. I'm just making sure that I can get there. Whoops. And I'm going to mute this here. Oh, I'm getting a weird thing. That's so weird. Wow. All right. New formats are weird. All right. So I'm going to just share a women's song now. So the first women's song that I want to share is Anishinabe, which is the Women's Honor Song. And this song is from Joan Henry. She's a Arapaho Cherokee. I'm just really thankful that she has shared this song online, that she's been able to gift it, but also yeah, that we're able to share it in a good way. We always acknowledge where those songs have come from, who they've come from, or the nations that they've come from, even if we're not sure of the exact person, because it's just acknowledging that, you know, they have been around and they have that significance, they have that strength to them. When we sing this song, we honor Joan, and in it, you can hear that rhythm, you can hear that heartbeat, you can hear that pulse. So when a woman, you know, or anyone really is comforting a baby, there's that natural bounce, that natural pulse that we have, which is that connection to healing. It's that connection to nurturing and that connection to community. And so this is the Anishinabe, the Women's Honor Song. Anishinabe, weha weha, weha no weha 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 Anishinabe, weha weha, weha no weha 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 we know way, no way. When I, we no way, no be sharing more women's songs. So I was working with, well, I've been working with kids all this week and last week and the week before, which has been amazing. And one of the kids was like, do you have a turtle song? And I'm like, actually, I do, but it's also known as the Strong Woman Song. And I tried to explain why, because it was connected to a bunch of stories that I was sharing, where when we look at the turtle, it has 28 bumps along the edge to represent the 28 days in a moon cycle. And women have 28 days in our moon cycle. And so it teaches us about that sacredness that we have as women because we're directly connected to the moon. We have 13 bumps on a turtle's back to represent the 13 moons in a year. 13 moons were our guides. They were what taught us when to plant, when to harvest, what to hunt. And so we would be able to really gauge our communities and what was happening by by those moon cycles, by our own moon cycles even. And now I think we forget about that sacredness. And we need to come back to that. We need to come back to those teachings. And so the song that I'm going to share, which is the turtle song, is the Strong Woman Song. And this is an OG Cree song. Comes from out east, and it's really just about that strength that we have as community members to strive for justice for our murdered and missing Indigenous women, girls, Two-Spirit people, all of our family members really, but about keeping their stories alive, about keeping that strive for justice alive, to really honor the footsteps that we walk for our ancestors and that foundation that they've laid for us, and knowing that our future generations, we want to be able to give them a better world, a better life. And so this is why we do the work that we do. And this is why our communities need that healing. And we need to address the issue of murdered and missing Indigenous women, because it's not just an Indigenous issue. It's an everyone issue, because we are missing so many stories. We are missing so many connections to each other and to the land. Those families that are suffering, they are missing so much as well. And it's our responsibility as all people to come together and share these stories and strive for justice, to hold people accountable. If not now, then when? We have to begin. And so this is the Strong Woman Song. When I sing it, I do it with a heartbeat, because that's a women's beat or an honor beat or a healing beat. And I also raise it a little bit up every time. To me, that symbolizes rising above any of the issues, the hardships that we have endured, and we can only rise up when we come together. So this is the Strong Woman Song. which is another women's song, is of course a women's warrior song. This is one that has really become synonymous with the women that we have lost on East Hastings Street in Vancouver, so this is a sailor song. It also honors those women that we have lost along the Highway of Tears. It's been really trying and difficult because we've lost so many sisters in BC. A lot of them are going to BC for safety and security and warmth, and then they get exploited, and we really need to address that issue of exploitation. We need to address that issue of, why are Indigenous people mistreated and not taken seriously, and really judged before we have an opportunity to speak. And we need to start addressing that issue as a society, because it's a societal responsibility, and only our society can change it. It's not one person, it's every person. And so this song really honors those warrior spirits that's within each and every one of us. A warrior is someone within your community that is of service. A warrior isn't somebody who's on the front lines fighting. They're the ones that are keeping those home fires burning. They're those grandmothers and those aunties and those sisters that are raising children, that their nieces and nephews and grandkids, because their daughters or their sisters have been taken from them. And this is really to honor all of those women. This is to honor all of those people who are picking up the pieces within community and striving for justice, or striving for those voices to be heard and to elevate those voices in a good way. And so this is the Women's Warrior Song. Now I really want to share the chickadee song. I've been doing the chickadee song a lot with the kids, and I just really, really love. Awesome. Thank you for the info, Cheryl. They said that in East Vancouver there's the Wish Foundation, there is Friendship Center, and there's other services along there. I know that a lot of my sisters, they're not comfortable going into those services just because some of them are escaping domestic abuse. Some of them, there's other things that are really deterring them from coming into those organizations. There's a lot of mistrust with institutionalized organizations, and so I think we need to work on more Indigenous led organizations that can help our communities, because that's truly when our voices can shine. And so this is let's sing the chickadee song. And so normally I do is a call and response, so I'm going to do both parts, which is going to be awesome. song came through me when I was in ceremony. I don't like to say it's my song because it feels weird claiming ownership of songs like that. But yeah, the chickadees taught it to me, and so I'm lucky enough that I can share it with everyone. All right, so the next song I'd like to share, let's do the Raven song. I'm really on a kick with the bird songs this week. I have a lot of bird songs, just like I have a lot of women's songs. And so yeah, I'd like to share the story of the Raven, which is really about being humble, acknowledging everyone's value, and knowing that you're not greater or less than anyone else. I think that's probably one of the biggest contributors to a lot of the challenges in our society is people thinking that they're greater or less than anyone else. And it's just recognizing that we all have something beautiful to give. And when we get out of survival mode and we stop tearing each other down, we can actually thrive all together as a community. And so this is really the beauty of the Raven, because it teaches us that. So this is the Raven song. This is a Cree song. I learned it from my cousin Damien, who I hunted down because I heard this song on YouTube of all places, and I was like, why do I know this song? And so finally I was able to hunt him down, and he said, well, what reserve are you from? And I'm like, well, I'm from Muskeg Lake. And he's like, oh, well, it's probably because it's our family song. And it turns out we were like third cousins in a weird way. So well, I mean, I'm Cree, I'm probably related to pretty much everybody, but this is the Cree, as he likes to call it, or Raven song. what that oh! So part of the story that I share is the raven actually falls out of the sky after getting burnt by the sun, but he learns his lesson, which is why the last verse we raise it up just to say that he's learned his lesson. And so I'm going to share the mother song. And it's really to honor all of those mothers who their children didn't come home from the residential school, all of those parents, those grandparents who really had that severe loss. I was so reminded of it today just because they are doing so much more digging. They found another, I believe it was 93 grave as close to Williams Lake. And it's just heartbreaking. Every time you hear those numbers, you know that there's families behind those numbers, there's experiences behind those numbers, there were children behind those numbers. And so when we sing this song, it's really to honor those family members who have been taken from us, those ones who have been impacted. When we're moms, we want to do our best to protect our kids, but a lot of Indigenous women, we didn't even have an opportunity to. Some of them, some of our children were taken, whether it be by the residential school, whether it be by the 60 scoop, but now residential school 2.0, which is the foster care system. And really, we need to address the systemic racism that has been plaguing our country since the very beginning. And the only way that we can do that is by sharing these stories and sharing these hard truths so that we can really wake up everyone to that horrible genocidal history that we all share, and that, you know, some of us are still benefiting from, some of us are still suffering from. But unless we address those issues, nothing's going to change. And so this is why we share songs like this. This is why we share our stories. This is why we have events like the Valentine's Day Memorial March, where we're going to be auctioning this off so we can honor our elders for saying those prayers, where we can honor the speakers for sharing their stories, where we can honor the drummers and the singers for, you know, sharing their voice. It's really important to be able to do that. And so, again, if you're looking to, you know, put in a bid. So we have numbers 1 through 100. So the grid is going to be a 100 square grid, and we're selling tickets for $20 each. The proceeds are going to be going to the Valentine's Day Memorial March, which is happening on the 14th. And so the 14th is the Monday, so I will be announcing who won on the Sundays, and then I will be, well, if you're in Mohkinstsis, in the general Mohkinstsis area, I will be driving that painting out to you on this Sunday the 13th, so you will have that beautiful painting in your possession by then. And so this is the Mother Song, to honor all of those family members who have been impacted by the loss of our children. And to remember that our children are now carrying those scars, they're carrying that burden. But I'm so impressed with this next generation because they are striving to break that intergenerational trauma. I was able to break that intergenerational trauma with my own children, and I'm so blessed that I have 2 girls that I've taken into my life, and now I'm going for permanency of, and I'm trying to break that cycle with them as well. And so I'm just so blessed to have all of my children in my life. And so this is the Mother Song, and in it you can hear the mother calling out and the child calling back as they drift further and further and further away. is actually two more songs. I'm going to sing the Thunderbird Song, because that's that fate, that destiny, that thing that pushes us forward, to really honor that path that we have ahead of us, to not doubt that path. I think in our colonist society, we think that suffering means we're doing the right thing, but it doesn't, because if you're on the right path, the Thunderbird just opens doors for you. If you're on the right path, the Thunderbird keeps trying to put you on the right path by putting more and more obstacles. And so if you keep running into roadblocks, maybe you're not where you need to be. I know this personally because I kept getting all of these roadblocks, and then finally I was just hit by a truck because the Thunderbird just got fed up with me. But it put me on the path that I'm on now. And so I'm thankful, not the fact that I got hit by a truck, but I'm thankful for the path that I'm on now. And so whenever I have hard times or whenever I'm struggling, I just think of the Thunderbird and I think, okay, what would be the easy path for me? What would be the path that I'm supposed to be on? And I take a breath and I look forward, and I'm thankful and grateful for the path that I'm on, and I just let the path unfold in front of me. Because if you force things, sometimes it doesn't work because the Thunderbird's purposefully holding a door closed for you. So yes, this is the Thunderbird Song. There's a big story behind it as well about how the Thunderbird gave us fire. Maybe I'll share that another day, but not today. So this is the Anishinabe Thunderbird Song. I learned it from, well, I heard it when I was growing up, but I heard it as well later on in my life through Elder Carrie Moore, and there was a couple other elders that I actually was introduced to that shared it as well, and I was like, oh, hey, I know this song, I can sing along. I love it when I do that, when I go to ceremony and I actually know the songs, even if it's a new elder that I haven't met before, so it's just my gift. I'm glad that this song keeps resurfacing. So this is the Thunderbird Song. And for a song that has so much meaning, it's actually quite short. Love to close with. This is the traveling song. Again, it was shared with me years and years and years ago, my elder Sharon Poo Turner, and she always had such amazing advice, and normally it was just like, listen to yourself, what are you thinking, what do you say? And it just always made so much sense. And so sometimes I missed her guidance, I missed her words, I missed her sweats a lot. But this song, she would always sing this, and I was always singing with her, and then when she left, the song left me, and I couldn't find it, and I couldn't remember it. And then I just continued on the path that I'm on, and lo and behold, I ended up meeting some beautiful Anishinabe women who were like, hey, can you help us sing a song for this performance that we were doing? I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then it was this song. And it was funny because that whole weekend, before I even knew they were going to share this song with me, there was all of these little reminders of her everywhere. And then the song was shared, and I just started to cry. And I was so thankful and humbled that this song came back. And so this is the traveling song. May everybody have a beautiful week ahead. May all of the gifts unfold in front of you to remind us to really appreciate the journey, not so much the destination. And really just let that path unfold in front of us, to acknowledge the friends and the family that we make. Just because it's not your biological family doesn't make any less your family. And so, yeah. But we need those guides. We need to, have our sisters from another mother, which I have a few. And so this is the traveling song. May everyone have a safe and wonderful week ahead. Again, if you wanted to put a bid in on that beautiful painting, you can private message me or you can text me 403-404-7664 to, again, $20 a square, 100 squares. And trust me, they're going to go fast because this painting is just absolutely stunning. Again, I want to thank Sam Baghetti for creating all of these beautiful works and really supporting this event in such a beautiful way. And so this is the traveling song. May your path be amazing. I hope to see you next Tuesday, and then again on the Monday at the Valentine's Day Memorial March. If you're here at in Mohkinstsis in Calgary, we will be at Scarborough United Church. Doors open at 6. When I say doors open, we start gathering at 6. Speeches are at 6:30, and then yeah, we will be sharing songs and stories of resilience, stories of the people we are missing, but also resources. We will have a moose hide campaign. Hopefully we'll get all the buttons and the cards by then, but to show our commitment. It's the way for our men to step up and show their commitment. And so yeah, it's just a gift. Thank you so much for having me today, for letting me share with you today, and I will see you next week. Miigwech, everyone. Hi, and see you soon. Again, if you want to put a bid in, PM me, post it on the event, and then we'll figure it out. So yeah, I'll talk